Yeah. The People Podcast. I'm on it here to make you think and take them black to the basis. No gimmicks needed. Our melanin was designed for this greatness. Power was created, the most high, assigned to the favorites. We win as a nation, it's mutual. Young black man, you enough. Ladies, you beautiful. Don't let them tell you different. Your energy can't be shifted. Created, nor destroyed. That's a scientific fact, so opinions is all forward. This is higher learning, higher conscious awareness of self. This that undisputed, undefeated, and in the belt. This your grandma cooking on Sunday morning. Don't touch the fridge. God is good all the time and all the time. Yeah, you did. This is music for the mind. Lyrics to touch your soul. Melanie for high frequencies.
Yes, sir. We are back once again with another episode of Black to the Basics, aka the People's Podcast. I am your host and one half here with my co-host.
It's your boy, you already know, man. Lakers in 4. Lakers in 4, man. What's going on, people?
We man got the new man. Hey, man, we're back for another episode, kinfolk. But hey, we told y'all we had some surprises for this season, man, and we want to continue with our interviews, man. This next guest coming to the neighborhood is dear to my heart, man. Just known this cat for a little minute. Actually, you know, we got close ties. This is my little brother. So welcome, kinfolk, my man Josh Hill.
What's going on, people?
Yes, sir. Hey,
What's good, man?
let me tell you something about your boy before he gets started, man. Hey, he done introduced me to the scooter life, and I ain't never looked back, man. So, yes, sir. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just blessed out here.
Yes, sir.
Cool, man. We happy to have you, little bro. We gonna get into some things, man. Kind of share about a little bit about what you got going on. Everyone, you know you as the fun dude, the dude to crack the jokes, the movie reference, the nerd, the dude that just got knowledge that you like. I didn't even know I needed that, but thank you,
All
Josh.
that.
So, man, I definitely want to share with the kinfolk just a different side, man. And I know you've been on your grind for some years now, kind of honing in on your business. So we definitely want to spend some time to let the kinfolk know about that. But you know, man, before we get started, we whenever we have a guest, we got to make sure we kind of warm them up. We don't want to just, you know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to just jump into it. So we want to get you warm up. So we got a few rapid fire questions for you, man, to get you started. You ready?
Oh, I stay ready.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, look, right out the gate, my brother. What are some best travel tips and hacks to take advantage of summer travel? You know what I mean? What you got for us?
So it's an unconventional method that most people don't know. But so the industry's not going to tell you this, and then they're not going to say it's any validity behind it. But travel on off days. And so what I mean by that is fly out on like a Thursday and then come back on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Because if you do normal hours, when you fly back on Sunday, what do they say? Oh, he got to get back or she got to get back to work.
Right.
Let's hit them on them prices on them Sunday flights.
Yeah.
But middle of the week, them prices start to drop down in the middle of the week. So do a Thursday to Tuesday trip, and you'll see a difference in cost.
Okay. I definitely about to change my flight right now.
Right, switch it up. So I know you've gone, man, a lot of places throughout the world so far, and you know you're gonna continue to go somewhere. But what are your 3 favorite places that you've traveled to thus far?
Okay, so number 1 off the bat is Iceland.
Yes.
Iceland is still the top of my list.
Yeah.
Number 2, it's gonna be a tough one.
Iceland was hard. It's hard. It doesn't even sound weird saying Iceland. You went to what? Iceland.
Let's see. It's a small country called Malta. It's it's an island off of the Italy coast.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's your number 2.
And then I hate to stay on that side of the globe, but Amalfi Coast is Italy.
The next.
Hey, man, so check it. What's the best airline if you had to choose?
This should be easy. This should be easy right here.
I'm gonna change up the rules a little bit. I'm gonna give two answers.
Okay.
So for domestic travel within, United States and Hawaii is gonna be Southwest.
Okay.
Ooh.
When
Okay.
you want to go international, I'm sticking with Delta all day.
Okay.
It's the rock.
Hey, I got a question right quick though, man. So why
Sure.
not use Delta? You know what I'm saying? Us being in Atlanta, I normally fly out of Delta like a lot because I know they got the hub here. But what's with Delta and the domestic flights? Their flights are more expensive, or because you about to have
Yeah.
me switch my ticket to Southwest?
Yep. So with Delta, their customer service is always going to be top notch, but it
Mhm.
is a little bit pricier, especially if you don't have like the perks like a Delta card. So with
Ooh.
Southwest, you always get the 2 bags free.
Yeah.
Southwest, and here's another travel tip for everyone. Southwest currently is the only flight to up until 10 minutes before the flight that you can get your prices changed and get money back in the form of a gift card for Southwest.
Put me on game. I ain't never heard that.
Me neither.
So I've got a cruise coming up in July. So I tend to, whenever the budget works is when I get the flights. I still check periodically, and if the price goes down at all, Southwest has a section on their website that says change ticket. You
Yeah.
click on that and you put in your confirmation number and your information. If you look up your exact flight, if the price has gone down, they give that back to you in the form of credit to use for your next travel.
Oh, that's dope.
Man,
Okay.
we gotta drop some bombs for that, boy.
Hey, look,
I've got
yeah,
about 150 saved in credit right now for the next trip.
Ready to go. Hey, my man Josh will definitely have some discounts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, let me check
Southwest.
one. Let me check one more time. Just let me just see what's out there.
I've
Hey,
done
man.
it for as little as $4 to as much as like $100 at
Oh,
one time.
hey, look, money is
Every
money.
dollar.
Every
Yeah.
dollar counts, right?
Definitely that. So I know we talked about some of your places that you enjoy, but what is one place that you would never go back to? And that could be domestic or international, because I know I had one experience when I went to Atlantic City? I think it was Atlantic City. I was like, yeah, I will never go back there ever again, ever. So, but I know you've been to a lot of great places, but is there one place you're like, man, I wouldn't go back there?
Ocean City, Maryland. And
That's
I
right up
know
the
I'm
street from
in
y'all, ain't it?
Maryland, but people got to understand where I'm at to get to Ocean City. It's about a 3.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
And you drive 3.5 hours to brown water, crappy hotels. The food is subpar. It's
I don't think we've ever had a good experience when we went to Ocean City for real.
not at all. So I don't ever have to step foot in Ocean City ever again.
He's like, he said, no, I'm definitely not. So
Yeah.
then I know that you also, not only do you travel as far as with flights and going places, but you also a cruise guy as well.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you had to choose between cruising, like going on a cruise, or flying to a destination, what is your preference between the two?
So it always depends on what I'm looking to do.
Okay.
So if I just want to get away and relax and not have to worry about things, I'm picking cruises 9 out of 10 times.
Right.
If I'm trying to get out and really explore the area that I'm at to learn about the culture and do stuff as the locals would,
Right.
then I'm gonna fly directly there and spend time there.
Okay. Okay. I think we about warmed up, or I think we ready to rock, dog.
Hey man, listen, I know we just getting started, man, but hey, I gotta check my ticket price, dog, so I give me a credit or something, because he didn't drop some jewels. We ain't even get started yet.
Oh no, yeah. This is my guy. Like when it comes to travel, bro, no, I hit him with the hey, this I'm gonna send you this. Give me the amount. I'm about to send it to you ASAP. You
Right,
want
right.
Zelle, Venmo? He know. I said, look at I said, dog, whatever you see, just let me know the price. I send that John to him right away. So he's definitely efficient with that.
I
That's
take
what's
all
up.
form of payments except Monopoly money. Like you want to get there, I'll get you there.
We're gonna get right into it, man. So how did you get into traveling? How did that start for you?
So this gonna be a funny backstory. So I've always been, the type of person there's always more than to what's my environment that I'm in. So I'm not going to be limited to where I'm at. I got to see what's out there, knowing the different cultures. I got to experience it for myself. So I had an associate of mine who was part of an MLM. I'm not going to name the MLM because they owe me money right now. And
multi-level marketing for those who don't know. But
yeah, exactly. So there was this one organization, and they're like, you know, you pay this monthly fee, you get access to different planned trips. Like they plan the trips for you and everything. And then, so he must know.
You ain't talking about what the little "you should be here" George, right?
It sure was.
We all got it.
My bad, bro. Keep going.
So they had a fine line in their print. Is if you could beat our price and, you know, find the exact same vacation for less on any other website, we'll send you on that vacation for free. My light bulb went off. I'm like,
easy.
I'm gonna beat these prices. I would say within 2 months of signing up, I had found a Royal Caribbean cruise. It was over New Year, so you bring it in the New Year on a cruise ship. Ocean view balcony. I think at that time, so their caption was you had to buy it and then show us the proof that, you know, you found it for somewhere else.
Okay.
So I did that, and, you know, shout out to my wife because she put some faith in me because that trip was like $5,000.
Yeah.
So I spent that, and I'm like, all right, I found it for cheaper on another website. Within like, I would say a week time, they're like, we've accepted your, you know, price match request and we'll be sending it to you. And so from there, I probably did it about 4 more times. I'm back-to-back cruises. I'm getting them. I'm bringing people with me.
Yeah.
And so it got to a point one time where before they said they used to have like hundreds of people on these trips. They only bringing like 20 people now because once you put in that price match quote, they take it off the website so other people can't get it.
Yeah.
So now they losing out on business. And so now they changed their whole program. They take it away because I done hit them over the head.
You done shut the Carter down.
Yeah.
I shut them down. My wife was like, hey, why don't you just go into business for yourself and just start booking travel for people? I said, you know, that sounds like a good idea. And, you know, from there, Boarding Pass Please just was born. That was just the start of it.
Yeah, and I remember, you know, you even tell us about like this is what I'm doing. We were all like, this what you can. We all hit up you anyway when we're trying to go travel.
Yeah.
Because you know, we do a family trip at least 2 times a year. So the first thing we do is like, hey Josh, how much is it gonna cost? You and I have always tried to exchange different, like if there's a deal, like, hey, I'm gonna send you this about this rental car. You let me know about. So when you told us about the idea of what you want to do, we were like, this is an alley hoop for you. Because you had already been doing it for the free anyway. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I might as well get paid.
Right.
He's definitely like, nah, let me get paid for it. So then you took that from traveling. And I remember a lot of those free trips because I was like, man, they done went 2, 3, 4 cruises across for the free. So then you took that and switched it into the business side. So I know with my little sister, aka your wife, definitely being into the business side and being business focused. Did she help you with the inspiration to kind of turn it to a business, or what was that once you decided like, all right, I'm gonna switch it in, I'm gonna get focused? Because I know, like you said, you already started doing the travel and you started getting paid. So what was it to build that kind of brand of Boarding Pass Please?
So it's very difficult for me I'm not a big social media person. Like,
Yes,
I can agree.
5 minutes.
I'm right there with you.
I done seen enough. I can get off and not touch it. So my wife is like, all right, let's sit down and I'm gonna show you what you need to do. She helped come up with the color scheme. It's like, all right, this is the model that you need to follow. And so we sit, we do weekly meetings with each other, and we sit and comb through. Okay, what went right this week? What didn't go right? So it's a model that we had to form, especially for someone like me who's not real big on social media to
right.
constant keep that wheel turning. So it's an uphill battle.
Yeah. Yeah, and shout out to Trying for Society, your wife's brand, and just having a vision. She's built all of our business within our family as far as from the social media aspect.
Definitely.
Shout out, she does the helped us with social media branding for Black to the Basics, James Entertainment, to Savvy Branding, to Tailored Arts, to a host of things. So, you know, as they say, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. You definitely found a good thing in your wife, because you know she could have be like you said, we did that trip. Like, I don't know about this. You spent a couple thousand. You might have to reevaluate that, but you know, shout out to you and your wife for being able to be on the same page. Like, look, I trust you. Like, you gonna have to make this work.
Definitely.
So, and then a lot of times we always hear, there's a lot of, I would say, myths as it relates to traveling while being Black, right? A lot of times we hear people talk about some of these myths. So, what are some of the myths that you've heard, or some of the things that you kind of dispel within yourself of traveling as it relates to being a Black traveler?
The big one is, Black folk don't do that. Like that. You hear, I'll name some of the excursions that I've done, and they be like, oh no, Black folk don't do that.
We would do.
Yeah. That's some other people's stuff, you know, as they would say.
Hey, and one thing about Young, if you never travel with Josh is an experienced person, dog. He will pay for, how much is it? Yep, we doing it. Zipline, cruise. I mean, what's the one in the parasailing?
Yeah.
I mean, I like, boy, you crazy as a mug, boy.
Yeah, I ain't doing that, cuz.
I meant, see?
Like,
hey, look, that's the other people's stuff. I ain't doing no Paris.
But I'm saying, Josh will hype you up so hard. You be like, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's make that happen. Because when it comes to an experience, he gonna get you an experience. He definitely gonna get you when it comes to an experience standpoint, though, man.
Hey, man. So, do you have any wild travel stories, like lost bags, crazy experience with the locals, airport delays? I know you've seen it all, bro.
Let me show you where the real people at.
Yeah.
Come on, my man. Let me show you where the real people at.
I've had a couple of those encounters. One time where were we? We were in, I think we were in the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
And so I had gotten a real good deal there, and so me and my wife there, and we sitting lounging. They come scoop us up and it's like, oh, you know, you're here. You got to do a timeshare presentation. Timeshare. I won't in the fine print when I booked it. But you know, I ain't trying to cause no issues. I'm like, all right, let's just see what this is about. So you know, we sitting there. Guy come in. He doing this little spiel, and then he go take us on like a tour, and then he like, y'all my N-words.
Nah. Nah. No.
What did I just walk into?
Presentation over with.
Over with. I'm like, all right. I look at my wife. She look at me, and it's like, yeah, it's about that time.
Right.
So let's go ahead and wrap this up, bro. You ain't getting none of my money. The minute I touch back in the States, I give them a call up and I lay into them. Oh, we're so sorry that you experienced this. Is not of us, and give us a chance. I don't want your money. No, y'all can't have my time or my energy. Just fix that so it don't happen to the next person. And that's all.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, presentation over with.
You encountered this.
They took relatability to a whole nother level.
Man, that's
exactly.
Ill.
It's like, I don't know you.
I just met you,
dog.
dog.
Gonna get me to buy a timeshare? I wasn't buying it to begin with, but you made it just that more even harder for me to get it from you.
Man. And another thing that I also hear a lot of people say when it comes to traveling, like, man, I would travel, but you know, it's so expensive to go X, Y, and Z. And I'm gonna do it, you know, like next year or whatever. It's like, so when it relates to that, so like, what's been your experience for those people who want to travel but may not have as much disposable income to just go out and, you know, spend a couple thousand on a cruise or whatever? What advice do you have for that?
So it's, you know, there's always some type of travel depending on someone's budget.
Right.
It's just whether you're open to trying something new. You may just have a idea of where you want to go. Like, you know, you'll see a picture of crystal clear waters and you think you got to go all the way to Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Grenada's a great country, by the way, but
shout out to Grenada.
yeah, let's dial it back. Let's get you to the Bahamas first.
You go to
And
Pensacola for that.
There's crystal clear waters in the Bahamas, great
Right.
food, great excursions. So let's get you to one first and then work from there. You don't have to be defeated.
Oh, okay. Instead of going for the Grand Slam, maybe start somewhere smaller and build up to that point. Okay.
Exactly. Let's get you something that's along them same lines of you're gonna get the Caribbean feel, you're gonna get the vibe, you're gonna get the great food, the people and the culture. So let's show you one and then help you get to the next. So don't shoot for the moon
Off the first one.
Yeah,
I'm trying to go to Egypt and Dubai, like the first trip.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to try to Puerto Rico?
You got to graduate up to that.
Exactly. Florida. We'll get you to Florida first. If you worried about the long
I said, let's try Key West first.
Right. Trying to get you somewhere.
Yeah.
So I know all a lot of times, particularly within our culture, when it comes to people being like your agent, your travel agent, you book travel, you look out. A lot of times people think like, all right, if I'm going with Boarding Pass, please, it's because I'm trying to be price conscious or, whatever. So when you take in a client, they say, hey, I'm trying to book travel. Like, what is your process? Like, all right, how do you establish like, this is how we're going to get to whatever the goal is? What's your process when you take in somebody who's booking Boarding Pass, please?
Yep. So for first time people who don't know who I am or haven't worked with me, I have them visit the website and there's a customer information form.
Hold on, go back. You had them visit what?
BoardingPassPlease.com.
Okay, he's official. Just go ahead, fam.
Yeah. Boarding Pass Please, and the please is PLZ. So you ain't got to PLZ. You ain't got to spell it all the way out. And so on the website, there's a customer information form. It's a questionnaire that's kind of set up to, especially if you don't know where you want to go, it helps me and you narrow down your choices. So you'll fill out that form. I get an understanding of, your budget, of where you're trying to go, and, just a general consensus. And so from there, that's when I do all the footwork after. You pretty much just sit back and relax. So then based off of, the choices that you made, I start to tailor a vacation towards you. And so what most people will do, or other agents will do, is they'll provide maybe one or two options. My goal is to try to give you 4 or 5.
Yeah.
The budget that you gave me, I'm going to give you something definitely under that budget, something that's right around that budget, and then something a little over. Just because, there's always to show you, okay, if your budget might have been $2,000, but let me show you what $2,300 will get you.
Right.
That extra $300 might be worth it to you.
Be worth it, yeah.
Like, let me see. Yeah, you be like, the location is good.
Hey, look, you'd be surprised what you could pull $300 from to make that happen.
Exactly. Like, let's say you got a nice ocean view balcony room, and then, hey, if you wanted to spend the extra $300, I can get you a jacuzzi rooftop balcony.
That changes.
that changes.
Especially game changing.
Fellas, if you're doing something for your wife,
right.
You got a jacuzzi out there on the rooftop?
Right.
You don't mind that extra $300.
That's dope, man. One of the things that I also love about, just booking with you, man, is that one, even though we fam, you still be like, yeah, this is the price. Like, the price is the price. Like, you don't be like, hey, here no deals. You like, this is the price. You like, either you want it or you don't. And you're not somebody who's chasing the people who are like, well, I'm just only trying to spend this and this. Like, you're not targeting that. You like, I'm here to provide a service for you. So that's my goal, to provide that service. And I like that you keep it. Even though we brothers, you still got to pay the price. Because I'm motto, double it up for family, because family will get you. But I like that you are very business minded when it comes to that aspect. Because even when I hit you like, hey, like, all right, cool, well, go here. This is what it's going to cost. And hey, book here. And you give me all the information and still treat me as a customer, which is good, because it's hard to draw that line between family and business. Definitely. And a lot of times family don't respect that line, but I love that you keep it in that level. Like, hey, business is business. Like, I love you, bro, but this how I feed the fam. So
exactly.
Hey, so what's the most challenging part about being a travel agent? You know what I'm saying, that you've experienced?
That's a good one.
The consistency, just it's an up and down type of environment, especially with going back. You'll have somebody reach out to you, You provide them the information, and then it's like I'm not the type of person, I don't like to chase people down. If I can't convince you that here's a good deal and you should take advantage of it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go about your way. So it's that up and down of, okay, getting people to commit. All you gotta do is just take that step out there, and then I'm gonna do the race with you. But some people, it's a double Dutch type of thing. It's like they're hezzy, and
I'm gonna let you know.
Right.
I got you next week, or we'll think about it, and then you never hear from them again. So
Like what Martin say, they called me. You called me.
Exactly.
Right. So let me ask you this, sticking with that, man. How did COVID affect you being a travel agent? Like what was that experience like when we couldn't go nowhere hardly, and now it seems like COVID don't exist? So what was that experience like for you, navigating COVID?
No problem. So COVID was actually a blessing in disguise for me and my household. So when COVID happened, when they officially shut the country down, let's see, probably 2 weeks later, my son was born.
Okay.
So shout out to Big Ro.
Big Ro.
Yeah.
Those who've met Ro know he let you know when he coming.
Yeah.
And so, we in the hospital, it's just, back in the day, as soon as woman give birth, they, the whole family in the hospital, they trying to breastfeed the baby, and they ain't got no privacy. So it was, a chance for just me, my wife, and our son to, just sit and enjoy each other's time. And so during that time, during COVID, I just got to stay home with my family. I was fortunate enough to be able to just be at home with them and spend that whole year with my son. So it was actually a blessing in disguise for me. Business took a hit, but fortunately we were blessed enough to make it through.
That's what's up, man. Family is always important. You mentioned your son. I've had the pleasure of meeting him. Traveling with kids can be a challenge, though, as you know. So how do you manage to travel with a young child?
So it's all about knowing what's available and what options you have. So one big thing is, two big things. The first one is when you're flying within the U.S., if your child is, a day before their 2-year birthday or less, so 1 year and 364 days years old, they fly for free.
Okay.
So don't let having a 1-year-old stop you from traveling, because you don't have to pay for them to fly.
Right.
Next is, everybody knows about the liquids rule at the airport. People done lost cologne, lotion, shampoo, conditioner, lost all of that. That does not apply when it comes to formula. So thinking about when you need to feed the baby, it's like, oh, we're gonna be at the airport, I'm not gonna be able to have water, or we're gonna have to buy an $8 bottle of water just to make formula. Have your bottles pre-made already. Let the TSA agents know, hey, I got 2 bottles for my baby. They take it, they test it to make sure that it's indeed formula, and then they let you bring it through. So baby formula bottles don't have to apply to that liquid rule.
Okay.
So in essence, the kids should stop you. So don't try to blame the kids. You should be
no. Kids actually help a little bit. When people see that you got a baby with you, they're more likely to let you through, and then it's easy to get strollers and car seats through the airport and take them to the plane. It's a more simple process than what people.
And one of the biggest things that you've introduced me to was TSA PreCheck, Clear, and then also Global Entry. So for those who don't know, who's never heard of these 3 things, can you please put the kinfolk on? Give us an explanation of those things for people who are looking to travel, please.
Sure. So TSA PreCheck and Global Entry are very similar. The only difference is Global Entry applies to international travel. So what that is they say, oh, you've gone through the necessary background checks from our Department of Homeland Security, I believe. Mm-hmm. And they say, okay, you don't have any issues with your history, your background. We'll allow you to bypass some of our airport rules, such as having to take the laptops out of the bag, the iPads, taking your shoes, belt, jackets off. Because we've deemed you safe enough, you can leave all of that, and we've created a designated line for you at the airports. So more often than not, depending on where you fly out of, those lines are a lot smoother than your standard lines where you have to take all of those things off.
Yes.
Once you pair those with my favorite, Clear, Clear is a dedicated service where they say, oh, you pay for our yearly service? We'll escort you to the front of whatever line you need to be in. So for my Atlanta folk, you know how busy.
Yes.
Busiest airport in the world.
Jackson is. You know how busy it can be. So imagine it's a Friday night, 6 o'clock. You know how bad traffic is. You know how busy the airports is. You walking through the airport, you've got Clear and you've got TSA pre-check. You're going to go to that Clear kiosk. You're going to scan your boarding pass, and then your eyes or your fingerprint, and they're going to say, oh, welcome back, Mr. Hill. Welcome back, Mr. Weeks. Welcome back, Mr. Irvin. Follow me. And then they escort you to that line. They show that TSA person that ticket, and then they let you right through the front of the line.
Let me tell you something, man. Hey, you can. Hey, I want to share this, man. You can ask Weeks. And you gave me the inspiration. We went out to Denver when you were taking me to the airport that morning for my flight. I was like, "What time your flight leave?" And he was like, "My flight leave at such a time." Well, what time you went to the airport? Yeah, I get there about 30 minutes before we take off. I'm like, I'm getting to the airport 2 hours before you gotta go, and we leave on the same flight. But man, listen, for you and Weeks, y'all have been advocates. I have signed up for TSA pre-check. I got Clear. Listen, let me tell y'all something, people. It's nothing better in the world than going through Atlanta airport and you see all these people look at you like, well, where's he going? Ma'am, to the front. Have a nice day. I'm going to catch my flight. So I am an advocate for the pre-check, the Clear. It has saved me plenty of times here in Atlanta, man. So look into it.
Yeah, definitely, man. And like you said, Atlanta airport, man, it could be a Wednesday and it'll be jam-packed. So being able to have a separate line with that TSA pre-check and then another separate line with Clear, it changes your whole travel experience. And Lola, my daughter, just had the opportunity to experience that over spring break. And she's like, Dad, we walked to the front of the line. I've never had this in my life. She's like, I didn't have to even take that out. Like, my shoes was on. Like, she just was amazed. Like, how did we get through the line? We waited more time for our bag to pass through screening than we did going through the TSA line. And that just changes your whole perspective because a lot of people don't like going to the airport because of that. Like, TSA is horrible when it comes to that. I'm a firm believer they need at least 10,000 at every airport more because it's not enough efficiency. It reminds you of the Walmart line when you go in there.
Yes.
37 registers.
2 million people.
3 people. And so when you have that experience of TSA pre-check and then Clear, it eases everything. Like, I don't care if I'm traveling, like I know like I'm good. Like, you walk in and it's a different level of confidence that you have knowing like all the people sitting there in line. And I missed my flight here in Atlanta thinking I can make a flight trying to be early before I had pre-check. Like, to the point I had got there and I'm trying to ask people like, excuse me, can I go in front of my flight? They already boarded. To the point they like, nah, you good. And I made it all the way up to the line and still missed my flight. That day I got cleared. The next day went registered for pre-check. And my life has been completely different in the last 2 years. And you know, I'm in the airport 2 times a month. So I go in there and I'm ready. Laptop ready to go, shoes on. It just changes your whole experience. So needless to say, if you're out there and you travel, I don't care if it's 1-2 times a year, that one time that you go in there and it's busy, it's going to alter your whole
It's worth it, man. Listen, you remember when I called you, there was some traffic here on 75, and I literally got to the airport, Josh, with like 25 minutes to get to my gate. Had I not had both, it was a wrap. And I was traveling for work, so there's no way I can explain why I missed my flight. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's no way. So having both of those, I said, dog, I don't think I'm going to make it. I called him back within 3 minutes. I was at the gate. So, yeah, man, listen. You heard it, man. Hey, go get that.
Get it.
They need to get a sponsorship or something. Pay that money. Go get that, man. Trust, we all use it. It's amazing.
So another thing I want to ask you, fam, is I know we talked about travel and kind of how you've been doing it, and you're as they say, a man of many talents that always has his hand in something. But even as we relate to more immediate, just the travel aspect and just not even just being an agent, but just the places you travel. You talk about Iceland. Like, I've never heard somebody in my life say they went to Iceland, like ever. For many culture, black, white, you get what I'm saying? So to see that you've gone to so many different places and not the places that we hear like Dubai and, you know, going to see the pyramids and over in London, like basic things that we've heard a lot. but you've gone to places that people wouldn't even think about. So to say that you've gone to these places, and not only that, you are going with your family, right? And you're bringing other people on. And every time you travel, you're bringing more and more people and more experiences. Do you ever just sit back and look at like the impact that you have as being a living, breathing, like witness of this is what happens when you think outside of you think? Do you ever think about the impact you have on the culture of what you're doing?
Definitely. That's another one of the like pillars of Boarding Pass Please. Is like, there's nothing that we should be limited to in this world, and especially when it comes to traveling. Like, we should be able, like a ultimate goal of mine is to step foot on every continent. That's just something of mine that I know I can do and I'm going to do. So it's just so many things out here that we've never seen or our eyes been opened up to, that I have to see it for myself. Like, I compare it to, you know how some people, if you're talking about a movie and like somebody spoils the ending, that doesn't
you still
apply.
like, I still gonna watch this movie.
I still have to see how it plays out. And so like traveling is the same thing. It's like, oh, you can tell me, oh, Iceland, it's a nice place. They got a couple things here or there. I got to see it for myself. So just seeing it here or hearing it through someone else's is not the same as actually being there. So the goal of mine is like, especially with us as Black people, is like, there's so much that we haven't experienced or haven't been taught, that, our mindset of how the world lives can be changed just by going to one destination. Like, I'll tell you a story about Iceland. So Iceland, I had a different reason for going to Iceland. So me growing up, I always loved nature, Discovery Channel, animals. And so Iceland is one of the few places where you can see the Aurora Borealis, or some people may know them as the Northern Lights.
Yep.
Where, at a certain time of year when, light hits the sky, that it changes, it has a different color. You'll see a greenish hue, going through the skies. It's a nice phenomenon to see. Getting there, I, get to talk with the people and experience things and just realize how different Iceland is from America. So to start out with, when you grow up in Iceland, it's mandatory that you have to learn 3 languages.
Dang.
So you have to learn the native Icelandic language, you have to learn English, and then you get to choose what you want that 3rd language to be.
And it can be any language?
And it can be any language. So some people choose Spanish, some people choose French, German. It's just as long as you get them first 2, now you get to choose the 3rd one. And so, being in America, some people struggle with English.
Right. We behind the curve.
To go to another country where every person I encounter, I know is going to speak English because it's mandatory, and they know 2 more languages, it's like, it just shows to what we could accomplish if we really put our minds to it.
Yeah, and you've changed even a lot of our perspectives with just some of the places you've gone to. Even when you went to Cuba, like you don't ever hear some people talking, oh yeah, I went to Cuba, and you're showing the pictures and just showing the different things, but you're always forward thinking when it comes to travel. Like, hey, I'm planning X, Y, and Z, and sometimes you'd be like, what? Like, what? Like, that don't make sense.
Out of all the places, you picked that place, like,
and then you will still follow it through, but it's like you kind of have like the vision of like, look, I want to do something different, and that has caused us, like I said, we do family trips all the time, but we always find a way to have that experience where our children, like, and even our nieces and nephews, they have the life. Like, Rowan's traveled on cruises and over like all types of places that most adults haven't even gone. So just think about that experiences that we are giving our children, where they're flying and going to Disney World, going to here and going to there at young ages. So when it's so
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just went over, I went to like, 6 different continents, 6 different countries for the summer. For your summer, but
yeah.
most people go to Florida. You went to a different country. So I think that you are making a great example, and you are all helping us as well make that, when we're conscious of like, man, our kids are going to have a different life, because think of all the places that Rowan has gone now. You know what I'm saying? He's only 3. Like he's 3 and the places that he's gone thus far and will continue to go. So shout out to you, man, for having that vision for that.
Absolutely, man.
So we talked about the culture and your impact for it. And you even said you want to touch all the continents, right? But is there, let's just take this. We're going to imagine this right now. Right now, you're about to go on your trip, a trip that you want to go to. This is your dream trip. Money is not an option. Time, you ain't got to worry about time from work and take it away. Like you just get to go wherever you want. Nothing is that can uphold you or stop you from where you're going. Where is that place that you're going to?
So this place, I'll be surprised if anyone knows. So it's a place. New Zealand is the country first.
Okay.
And so I would have had to have been in like elementary school when I learned about this. So in elementary school, there's a place in New Zealand called the Waitomo Caves. So I'm pretty sure everyone's heard of whitewater rafting.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of blackwater rafting?
No. Do tell.
So in New Zealand, there's this place called the Waitomo Caves where you can do blackwater rafting. Essentially, it's water rafting. It's not the heavy rapids like you would associate it with whitewater rafting. So it's kind of calm and chill, but your only 2 sources of light that you have during this experience is there's a light on your helmet.
No.
There's glowworms on the ceiling of these caves that light up.
That's an experience, boy.
Yeah, and so blackwater rafting in New Zealand in the Waitomo Caves is my pinnacle of pinnacle for traveling right now.
How soon are you looking to take that trip? Because I want to see the pictures. I'm not going. I just want to see the pictures and hear about the experience.
I'll get you there. Don't worry.
No, it's hard.
But as far as time frame, I don't have one because I don't know if I'll take the kids on that one because that one is a bit of a step up in terms, especially with the type of excursion it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll just be me and my wife. So as of right now, there's no time frame.
But it's gonna get done.
Yeah, it's gonna get done.
He's like,
let me know how that turns out for you, bro.
Don't knock it till you try, man.
No, I'm not. Hey, listen, man. Hey, I'm all for trying new things. I just rather if someone's gonna do it before me, hey, man, you go ahead and do it. And then I'll find out about it later, man. But speaking, with your company, your brand, man, what are some of your big goals for the company? Expansion, anything? What is your vision for the company for the next, few years to come?
So for me, it's always about, bringing more people in, opening up more eyes to travel. And so, every year I do a family and friends cruise. So, I invite any and everyone, I try to stick with a particular brand that I like, which is Royal Caribbean. And, they're easy to work with. It's easy to make adjustments when needed. So my ultimate goal is to eventually be able to charter a entire boat or entire ship. So I'm not sure if most people are familiar, but Tom Joyner, he has a cruise that he does every year.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to go through his channel in order to get on that cruise for that 5 to 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
If you hear about the cruise and you try to go book it on your own on Royal Caribbean's website, that cruise isn't available. I'm trying to get to that point to where
Gotcha.
Every year I do a family and friends cruise, and it's so large that I have to rent it out myself and then have people come to me to book. Like I want to be able to charter a ship that big one day and fill it up with family and friends.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
You definitely on your way, fam.
Yeah, he on his way.
Because every year your family cruises are getting bigger and bigger, and more people that are not even direct family, they just seeing friends that they know going on. Like, hey, you going on this? Because I even now get more people reach out to me. Hey, man, are y'all going on this cruise that they have with this? And I'm like, how you know about this cruise? Well, such and such had posted it, and they had shared it on their page. So it's definitely growing as far as with your brand and what you're doing and your impact, man. And we always do stuff together, man. But from one man to another, man, it's a businessman, man. Shout out to you, salute to you and your wife for the brand that you're building. the pillars that you're knocking down and dispelling all these myths as to people don't travel and black people don't do this and we don't do that. Shout out to you for having that vision and stepping outside of your box or your circle, whatever they want to try to put you in. Shout out to you and your wife for building a foundation and just trusting in you and just knowing like there's something bigger out there and I'm going to go for it. So there may be someone, fam, that's listening to this episode. They may want to get in travel. They may want to get in contact with you or kind of pick your brain or just kind of find out more about travel. As you close out today, what are some advice or even something you would just leave the people that may be tuning in, just want to learn a little bit more about you?
Yep. So, for me, it's always visiting the website. I always try to put out information, tips of, I have try to do different articles about, ways to make travel easier, how to get the most bang for your buck when you're traveling. So just always stay in touch through the website, boardingpassplease.com. And then anytime you fill out the customer form, it comes directly to me. So you don't have to worry about a operator or a telemarketer or anything like that. It comes straight to my phone and I see it. And then depending on how much information or what you're trying to get, I typically reach back out within 24 hours.
Yeah.
So anytime anybody wants to know anything, they're trying to get an insight into information or just start the process to book their next travel. It can be the smallest thing as to renting a car. I got coupon code to use for people to get a discount off of rental cars.
Yes, sir.
You want to book a destination wedding for you and your future wife. The smallest to the biggest, it doesn't matter. I can help with any of that.
That's dope, man. That's huge that you're doing those things, and you're not one trick pony. You got some things going on across the board. So just show you, man, that you can easily turn something that you love, that's a passion or something you love to do, into a business, and you're living proof of that. And I know you have. I want you to say your handles again before, so we'll obviously put them up on the screen as well. But also, you have a couple excursions that people still can be a part of right now. Okay, so I want you to talk about those too as you leave your handles first, and then also to talk about the excursions and how they can get in contact as far as they want to take place and take part of that.
Definitely. So it's Boarding Pass Please, and that's PLZ. For we know who that's for. PLZ. Boarding Pass Please across the board. So that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I think, those three across the board. And then the main one is probably directly on the website. So boardingpassplease.com. So for the two main trips that I have coming up, I've got a friends and family cruise that we do every year. This one year is in July. It's on Royal Caribbean. So we go into their private island in the Bahamas, a couple of places in Mexico and Honduras. So, that's coming right around the corner. So for people who are looking for a summer vacation,
what's those dates for that? I know it's in July, but what's the dates for that?
No problem. So we'll get down to Florida on July 21st.
That's my birthday. Shout out to that.
Yes, yeah, perfect. And then the cruise is from July 22nd to July 29th. And that leaves and comes back out of Florida. And so another nugget for people: if you're on a cruise ship and it leaves out of the U.S. and comes back to the U.S., you do not need a passport.
Say that again, dog, because I think people may have missed that. Say that one again.
Yeah, so if you're cruising in and out of the U.S. as it starts in Florida and ends in Florida, you do not need a passport. A birth certificate will get you on board.
Dropping them nuggets.
The next one in December, I'm talking to just the adults now. And November,
keep the babies at home.
Yeah, keep the babies at home. We're doing an adults only cruise. It's through Virgin Voyages. Now, Virgin Voyages is a big company that's making waves in the industry because they're doing it different from all other cruises. So with them, Wi-Fi is included. Your basic beverages are included. Group workouts are included. Every restaurant on board the ship is included in the price. Gratuity, so you don't have to worry about tipping anybody once you get on the boat. It's included. All other cruise lines charge for all of those costs for all of those items. And so we're doing an adults only one in November. So single, married, wanting to get married, it's the perfect cruise for you.
Okay,
So
what's those dates for that?
That is November 1st through the 5th.
Okay, cool.
And so, and that one's nice. Me and my wife did it for the first time last year. I booked the next one while I was still on board. And so, and they have real nice perks. If you book your cruise with them while on board, they give you almost up to $1,000 to spend on your next cruise.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they give you money to spend in the bar, in the casinos, and the gift shops. They treat you right once you get on board. So that's definitely a cruise that people are gonna want to check out.
I gotta holler at the wife, see what we got.
see what's good.
You know what I'm saying?
Drop
So
the
with
kids
that,
off.
Right.
I know a lot of people are worried about leaving kids at home. With Wi-Fi being included in the price, now you can still FaceTime, video chat, do what you need to do to stay in contact with the kids. You don't have to worry about spending extra money just so you can stay in contact with who's ever watching the little one. So
That's what's up.
it's a perfect reason for you to join this one with the Wi-Fi being included.
Definitely, man. Shout out to you. And hey,
Yeah,
y'all heard it, man. If you're looking for summertime cruising, holler at my man, Boarding Pass Fees, and even the couples, you know, because adults need a long time too. So shout out to you for thinking of that, man. Definitely was a pleasure, honor to have you, man. I'll go ahead and let my man Irv say anything. Any last thoughts he has?
Listen, man, I've known you for a while, man, and all my experiences been awesome. Especially, like I said, man, that Denver trip was probably one of the best trips I've had in a long time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? All the things I've learned today, as far as I'm definitely going to take you up on that Delta customer service thing. Try to get me another flight credit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, just so much I learned today, man. Just to see your passion and just knowing you personally, seeing like the energy that you have, man. You know, I know you have great things ahead of you, and I will be the first ones when you get that ship to yourself, man. I don't like going on cruises, man, but I would definitely be on there to show support, man. So just waiting for it to happen, brother, man. Just keep it up. So holler at my man Josh, man. He's good people, man. Up and up.
Definitely, Kinfolk, man. Holler at him, man. If you're looking for travel, if you're interested in travel, just try to see what it's about, man. It's always good to have a point of contact that you can just reference or talk to about travel, or even plan, schedule that travel. I know a lot of us parents, we trying to play some catch up because of COVID and trying to reschedule a lot of plans. So it's great that we're giving you a resource that you can contact directly.
Yep.
It's going to give you a great deal, great options. We definitely appreciate you coming on, talking to our Kinfolk today. But Kinfolk, remember, when I talk, you talk, we talk. That's that free talk right here at the People's Podcast. Catch y'all next week.